guys, how are you? It's your procurement queen. So I just wrapped up a class that I did this morning. It was called Introduction to Government Contracting. It was a really, really good class. You definitely want to be in these sessions. And I even found, I even found an actual bid that this business owner could respond to, and I shared it, right? I also shared like a bid tabulation where a similar contract was awarded for $131,000, right? So my sessions are really interactive, very engaging. They really enjoyed it. And part of the session includes a proposal. Now, in that proposal is the template. So you need to always stay ready. When government agencies want to work with you and they ask you to provide documents, you do not want to wait 5 days, 10 days, 2 weeks to get back to them. You want to make sure you have something on hand that you could quickly modify, right? And submit, right? It shows that you're ready, that you're serious about your company. And so it's really important that you always stay ready. So I have another call that I have in like 10 more minutes. So I just wanted to hop on to let you know the next class that I'm doing would be next week, Saturday from 7:30 to 9 a.m. Right? And so it is always best for you to register as early as possible, right? So that means go on there today, click the link in my bio and register. And one of the benefits of registering early is because I get to customize everything that I share with you and make it super relatable by including things that pertains to your company and the type of contracts that you want to actually respond to. So I'm able to do that if you give me a head start, right? If you register today, I'm able to start working for your stuff and your business and putting everything, in there today, right? If you register the day before, that's a bit challenging, right? To give so much because this is the day before. By then, the slides are pretty much finalized and I usually go through it and do some tweaking. But I always recommend whenever I do these sessions that you like the first one to jump on it, okay? Now, this session was really unique. I did do a video a few days ago and I said that the first 5 business owners that register to this session will get a template related to their particular industry. So that means if the business owner was a caterer, I actually created the business template, the proposal to catering, right? Included all the different things that I think that their proposal for catering to a government agency should include. So I'm able to do that when you register early, right? And I know about your company. Part of the registration process, it's not just telling me your company name and paying, right? I'm very intentional. I want you to succeed. So I ask questions on the order form like, what is your current business? What do you enjoy doing? What are some contracts you would like to win, right? And based on what you submit, although those questions are optional, right? I'm able to better serve you when you actually come into the class, right? So this particular business owner answered all the questions, which is great. Right away, they showed me that, they really care. They're really invested. And guess what? Because they care, I also care. And so I'm going to do what's best for this particular business owners, right? Let me go ahead and tailor these templates to be more about the type of company that they have. Let me go a little further. Let me find out, because I also asked like where your business is located or your state or something like that, right? And I was like, oh, they're located in Florida. Okay, let me see if there are bidding opportunities right now for their company in Florida based on the responses that they gave. So this business owner answered all those questions, right? So they received a proposal template tailored to their industry. They also receive a current contracting opportunity tailored to the state where they want to do business in. Like, they also receive data and what contracts were awarded and who their competitor was for their industry, okay? And they got the contract award amount, right? So I shared the contract award amount, which was a little bit over $131,000, right? And I shared the tabulation sheet that showed them specifically what that item is that they bid on, right? I also shared the tabulation that showed the hourly rate. Those are like data that's really important when you start government contracting. You want to know, you're curious, like, what are other people paying, right? What are they charging? So they were able to get that information from my session this morning. I included things like other companies are asking and putting in their rates, right? So if they have a catering business, what if it goes into overtime? What is that rate? What are your competitors charging for overtime? What are your competitors charging when they ask you to cater an event on a holiday, right? They want you to take your chef and tell him to get out of bed. He can't be Christmas with his family, even though he just had a newborn, and they want the chef to come work at their event. Well, what is that rate for holiday? You should have a separate pay and a rate for that, because that's a really important day, right? So I shared all that information with the business owners today, and they were like, "What? Like, I normally just charge the same rate, whether it's after hours, whether it's a holiday, whether it's, the same day." And so I was able to show them, no, other companies have different rates for different time, right? I went into negotiation. I went into things that they can negotiate for, how to negotiate certain things. Like, listen, guys, I love procurement. There isn't a day, and that's probably insane. I probably need to do a day for myself where I'm like, okay, we're not going to do procurement today. I love it, and I'm constantly involved in different contracts, negotiations, and reading different documents, reading RFPs, looking at RFPs, creating classes, to share information. I was at an event last night, and one of the business owners, well, I also spoke at the event, and people had several questions. And as a rule of thumb, if it's legal, whatever it is you're selling, whatever service you're selling, whatever product you're selling, if it is legal, there are government contracts for it, right? So they asked the question, like, this particular business was in coffee space. Like, oh, are there government contracts for coffee? And I'm like, absolutely they are, right? And I was like, in fact, if you look at my social media, my Instagram page, if you go back to some videos, I'll share there are government contracts for coffee. And I did that sometime in 2024, I think, or 2023. I don't know. I did a video, but it's on my page. And so I was like, let me go back and find it most recently. Because when I teach you, it's not just like I'm telling you, I am also showing you, right? So this is legit, right? My experience in procurement have been working for $1 billion spend, right? In terms of the contracts that I have access to and I've seen, the contract terms, knowing not everybody's contract is the same. Some information is readily available for you that you could see and like, oh my God, I do this workshop and they're only paying me $2,000. This company does the same workshop and they're paying them $15,000. What's going on, right? Maybe I need to ask for more, right? So maybe I need to include this. Maybe I need to add that. Maybe I should take that away, right? So there's so much information out there. But it's really important too that not only, I'm just going to start my meeting. Let me make sure. See if the business owners join. I have another call.
Recording in progress.
Let me just mute recording.
Recording stopped.
I want to hear the recording and gotta change my background. So let me know about your company down below. Okay. I want to know about your company down below. Let me just see. I have another meeting. Just want to get on. And when they join in, then I'm out of the live. But for now, I'm just waiting for them to join. Yoga and mindful meditation. Oh, that's a government contract. So I'll tell you a story, true story. So the experience I have in procurement is based on actual work and experience in the field, right? So at several corporations and so forth within procurement. Now, at that time, the organization that I was working for, they were looking for enrichment activities for students, right? Enrichment activities for after school, right? So when school is over, what could we engage the students in? So in that particular forbidden opportunity, I included things like, okay, you do something with math, we're looking for something science, language arts. We really want to make sure the students are also learning while they're having a great time and while the organization is paying for this, right? And then I left a section called other, right? So I listed the math, the science, and all this other stuff and other. A lady saw that RFP and they're like, listen, shit, I don't got no math, I don't got no science, I don't got no language arts, but hell, I got yoga, okay? I'm going to teach them namaste and they going to do some yoga. And so she responded to that particular RFP, right? The bidding opportunity with yoga as her other. And she talked about the wellness. She talked about how kids will be more relaxed when they, took the yoga classes and it would benefit them in the actual classrooms. She was the only one to submit for the other. Only one. This is a $1 billion spend district, okay? She responded with that other for yoga and someone said yes. She was awarded a $700,000 contract for yoga. To this day, she still has that yoga contract. We follow each other on social media. I see those kids doing namaste and the little poses and everything. So cute. The little ones, guys. I mean, they're like, I don't know, 10 years old, 8 years old kids. They're too small. And she has that contract for multiple years. Okay. Yeah, that contract one had contract terms that were renewal. And she was doing a great job. So naturally, and they had the budget and it was great and it worked out. So they renewed her contract, right? So yoga is a government contract. But if she had never taken the time to actually read the bidding solicitation, she wouldn't have known, right? But she saw other and she bet on herself. She took the chance and she won. The first time she won a contract with this particular school district, and it was for $700,000. Okay, $700,000, and for multiple years, right? So you have to read, definitely, and you have to take a chance, take the risk, respond. You never know. That first time you respond could be a government contract for you. And don't just focus on what that bid and opportunity title says, right? So don't just say, oh, you're looking for enrichment activities. Oh, no, I can't do that. We can't do that. I don't know. Math, science, enrichment. What that mean? I don't know. They didn't say yoga in the front page. So it doesn't, clearly it's not for me, right? You don't want to have that attitude. When you see something that says enrichment, I want you to go to the scope of work section of that RFP. The scope of work section tells you, see, look, the client is not on time right now. They're late. It's 9:17. I have an appointment at 9:15. Okay. So when you start bidding, you want to be on time, right? They're late. But I'm still going to be on. And then we'll send an email like, excuse me, we had an appointment at 9:15. You did not show up. You did not cancel. You just didn't show up. So I'm wasting everybody else's time. So people want to talk to me and meet with me and they can't because you blocked the time off, but you don't want to show up. But okay. So yeah, I'm just venting right now to y'all. Because I have my computer screen and I'm on. I'm waiting for them to join in. So when they join in, then I get off of here. So let's just chat some more. Let's make it worthwhile. Let me share some information with you since they didn't want to show up. Oh gosh. Hello. So so yoga is a government contract. You join if you're curious about that too. Further, also click the link in the bio today and register for the introduction to government contracting. Answer all the questions that I ask you, even though they're optional. And that would help me help you once you come into the live class, because just like I did with the companies that were in my session this morning, like I've been up like early, guys. I had a class that I did live from 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 a.m. And I have another meeting set up for 9:15, but now they're late. And so if you set up early, it gives me time to work and to really help. Financial services. Tell me more about financial services, because it could include a lot of different things in financial services. Exactly what? right? So sometimes even like your bank, yeah, the bank, wherever bank you bank with, there are actually bidding opportunities for financial services where they're looking for banking institutions, right? So just let me know exactly what you mean by financial services, okay? Like financial services, do you teach financial literacy? Do you do bookkeeping? You accountant? Right? So for me, I'm on procurement queen. I love procurement. So all things procurement, government contracting, that is me. I have credentials in government contracting. I'm licensed. I ain't trying to lose my license doing any fraud stuff. A lot. You guys got to be careful who you talk to on who you listen to on these YouTubes and other social media platforms. Some of these people are giving you fraudulent information, like fraud, right? So, and I only find, most of the times I find out about the fraud when people take my classes. They'll get on my live class and they'll say something and I'm like, ooh, do you know what you just said is fraud? Like you're here with me today, but do not communicate that to anybody else you speak to, because they may not tell you it's fraud. They're going to listen and they're going to be red flags and not get back to you because you're doing something shady, right? So be mindful about who you allow to teach you government contracting, okay? Yeah. So in terms of my license, I have that in procurement. I have lots of certifications in procurement that have been vetted and all of that, meaning they know the companies that I've worked for, they know the roles of responsibilities that I've held at these corporations, right? All that goes into whether or not you get certified. I've taken different exams, I've passed my exams successfully, and in order for me to maintain all these different certifications I got, because y'all, I got a whole lot, okay, in procurement and everything else, I have to do what's called continuing education. So on a monthly basis, I am in somebody's conference. I am in someone's webinar. I am all over this, all over the country, right? In terms of to get this information and knowledge. So one, I keep my credential because I worked really hard to get it. I'm not trying to lose it, right? I'm not trying to teach you no fraud to lose it. Get myself in. No, I like to eat. I like to get up when I want. I ain't trying to be locked up in jail with nobody, okay? So I want to make sure I get legitimate information. I share with you information that's legitimate, and I stay current on what's going on in the industry. So not only do I attend conferences and webinars, I'm a part of a lot of procurement organizations, right? Associations, right? So I love this work, and I'm very curious. So I'm always learning. And I think whatever industry that you are in, whatever your job is, I see yoga in there, you got to be curious too. Stay current in terms of what is going on in yoga. What is the space? What are people doing? What are they not doing? You know, I haven't seen this and maybe they should incorporate that, right? Think about things like that. What could you do differently and go after it and test it out, right? Honestly, I tested something out and it worked, right? This is what I tested out today, my live. I have never done a class that started at 7:30 a.m. Like, honestly, I've never done it. Never, right? At 7:30 a.m. I was like, let me try 7:30 to 9, right? And let me see if there are people that are that interested in procurement like I am, and that interested in wanting to develop themselves like I am, right? And is willing to make the investment of their time and finances to join a live class at 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. And guess what? Businesses joined, right? They signed up, they paid, they showed up, they participated, and they got value, right? I just tried it. So don't sit there with your thought or your idea and like, I wonder if I could do a yoga class at 5 a.m. would people come? Yeah, they'll come. If they want your yoga class, they're going to show up. Try it, post it, see what happens. And guess what? Maybe the first time you do it, nobody's going to show up, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad idea, right? It may just not be that time. It didn't reach that person at that time. But if that time works best for you, just try it out. It worked, right? I tried it. I've never done it before. And I was like, let's see who shows up. And I gave myself a number. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this time about 5 times or so. And if nobody shows up in 5 times, maybe I'll change it back to 9 o'clock. But no, it works. And people are willing. And in fact, I went to an event last night And I told the people that I was doing a class this morning, and they were like, that's the perfect time. 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'm a business owner. That's the perfect time for me. I'm up at 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, for real? And they're like, yeah. I was like, well, the class is closed right now. So join next Saturday, right? So you want to get on and join early. All right. The earlier you get into the workshops and you pay and you answer the questions that I'm asking you, right? I ask you those questions. It's very intentional because I want to help you and I want to help you succeed. So another thing the business owners got today that participated and answered the questions at the time of the order, they also got actual government agencies that buys the product they sell. They receive their contact information, their phone number, their email, the earlier you pay for your ticket and answer those questions, the more time it gives me to give you all this extra value that you probably weren't even expecting, right? Because that's something that I didn't even talk about when you actually set up for the class, but that's a value that the business owners received today, that attended the session. So it was great. It was really, really great. So the earlier you sign in, the better it is. I'm here to help and serve you. Okay. I've been following you for years. I know you do business very well. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, you gotta do good business. In fact, I went to an event called Good Business with Nikisha. So that was a really great event. I got to see so many different people on social media that I've been following for like years. They actually were there in person. I was like, oh my God, I've been following you for years. One of them was Peaches Williams, the Killer Pitchmaster. She was excellent. She has such great energy. And I met her there for the very first time. And Tosh Williams is another one. Now, I know we all last name Williams, but there's absolutely no relation. But yeah, so thank you for following me. Definitely take the information and implement it. Your company, let me just look at the chat. See there, it's 9:26. The appointment was at 9:15. And it didn't show up. Okay, let me see. I'm just looking. Tell me about your company in the chat. You are the godmother of procurement. Ooh, I love that. Let me screenshot that. The godmother of procurement. Let me smile. I don't know if that was recorded or not. I went to take the picture and I shut off the screen. Oh man, what am I doing? See my kid. Yep, I think I got it. Okay, you're the godmother of procurement. Thank you. I love it. That's the first time I've heard of that one, but I love it. I'm gonna post that. I make all natural body butters. Listen. Another thing too, and I taught that to the business owners today in the session, is that sometimes in government contracting, you don't have to wait for an RFP or bid. You could create your own opportunity. So I showed them how to do that as well today. I mean, I'm going to tell you that class was like good. It was good. It was really good. So for all natural body butters, I could definitely show that and share that how that could be a contract right there. Okay. Right there. Your natural body butters. That could be a government contract too. If you join the class and you're in there next Saturday, I'll do that. But you have to sign up early. So that way I'm able to customize an actual proposal. You're going to get, regardless of when you sign up, you get a sample proposal that you could take and edit. But the beauty of registering early and tell me about your business is that now I get to do some research and take some time and do a little extra. And that little extra is actually giving you a proposal template tailored to how you could submit a contract for your body butter. Okay. All right. Like they late. Look, 9:28. Another thing too, when I do the sessions from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m., I start on time. 7:30, we started. Okay. If you join at 7:35, you already lost 5 minutes, right? The class start on time and it ends on time. And that is really, really critical when it comes to government contracting. Your bid needs to be on time. right? If it's a minute late, it may get rejected. Nobody cares that you were stuck in traffic because the other 5 vendors came on time. In fact, I got their proposals the day before. I got it last week, right? So nobody wants to hear excuses. You have to be there on time. That is really important as a business owner. So we start the session from 7:30 a.m. on time to 9 a.m. on time. I respect all the business owners' time, and you should respect your time as well. You paid for something, you want to show up and get the value, and you want to participate and be engaged. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for joining. You guys have a really good day. Click that link in the bio and register for the class that I am doing. Right. Bye. Oh, let me say one more thing. procurementqueen.com. If you go to procurementqueen.com, you want to click where it says services. There's a section that says like events, and you're able to also see the classes there. You can also click the link in the bio. If you're not sure about government contracting, in my bio right now, there is a free class. It's all self-paced. You watch and go at your own pace to figure out, is government contracting for me? So you want to go ahead and check that one out, okay? procurementqueen.com. Thank you for joining. Look, the client is 15 minutes late, 9:30 a.m. I'm going to hop off because you're not showing up, all right? Thank you so much, but don't let that ever be you. You register for something, you spend your money for someone to help you. You want to make sure you show up on time. Okay? Bye now.